Merry Christmas, folks. Back with another holiday music reaction, and we're going to listen to a performance from the, is it called Digital Christmas? Yes, Digital Christmas, a CD musical celebration by Orchestra Manhattan, arranged and conducted by Byron Olsen. I reacted to one tune from this CD last year in my holiday reactions. I think it was We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And this time we're going to listen to God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, one of my favorite Christmas songs, one that has a bit more serious, if not dark, sound to it, certainly depending on the version you listen to. I always think of Annie Lennox's version now, which has a heavy and very dramatic rendition of this, but even more traditional versions of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, they have a bit more of a serious sound compared to Christmas carols that are lighter and more elegant or more triumphant and celebratory. But yes, I wonder how Mr. Olsen will arrange the different parts of the orchestra, which instruments will play the lead melody, so let's give it a listen. This is from a 1986 CD by Orchestra Manhattan, arranged and conducted by Byron Olsen, their rendition of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Wow, that was more unique, and yes, I know unique is an absolute quality that is not applied in degrees. Nevertheless, speaking colloquially, that was more unique than I expected. Number one, the tempo was slower for most of it. That section, not the very end, but just before that, like the penultimate section of the track, or performance, when it became more string dominated, that felt like it actually got up to closer to what I regard as sort of the typical tempo of this Christmas tune. But the opening couple sections with the brass, and it went through some different arrangements and some different stylings, that felt very slow, like half speed. And not in a bad way, but it definitely stood out. And the overall performance, including, or maybe even especially, those first couple sections with the brass leading and the drum kind of giving a little bit of a marching quality, the snare, it felt like more wicked, like they were kind of twisting it and bending it and making it a bit like, not dissonant per se, it didn't have like a high dissonance, but it felt like a bit more wicked than what I would consider or what I would expect an orchestra performance of this Christmas carol to sound like. Like I said, that string dominated section near the end, that felt a bit more like what I predicted, although even then it wasn't like just a straightaway performance of the melody as it is typically performed in more traditional renderings. And then again, it went back to brass, and I feel like the woodwinds were also prominent, but the brass was definitely the brass section, because I do think we heard some different horns, but it was the major player here. And again, there were some little embellishments or stylings that were quite unique to this performance. So maybe not my favorite performance of this carol, but interesting in terms of the approach it took, and definitely something that I would enjoy hearing in a concert hall. So yeah, shout out to the Orchestra Manhattan and to Byron Olsen. And yes, as I said, there are, or no, I didn't say it here, but there are like 16, 17, maybe 18 tunes on here, so we've only heard 2. So maybe 1 or 2 more during this holiday season, and we'll have more in the holiday seasons to follow. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.